There are so many clients and so many friends sometimes who come and tell me that they are not able to sleep well at night. It's such a common problem nowadays. Either they are not able to fall asleep, or they get up early, or they get up in the middle of the night, one time, several times. And I thought it would be nice to kind of explain what is the reason behind the sleep difficulty and what we can really do about it, and also how being present and mindful plays a very important role in addressing sleep issues. So please bear with me. It might be a slightly longer conversation, but it is important if you want to work on your sleep issues and resolve them from where they arise, instead of just trying some quick fixes, some 5-minute breathing or some 10-minute exercise, which might help for some time, but it's not going to reset your sleep pattern. Now, in order to understand sleep issues, it's very important to understand a little bit about the nervous system. So I'm going to keep it really simple, but understanding how our nervous system functions is crucial, because sleep is a state of relaxation and which can arise only when our parasympathetic nervous system is activated. So in a very simple way, we have an aspect of the nervous system that is known as the autonomic nervous system. Now, this is a part of our nervous system that is out of our control. This controls our digestion, it controls our sleep, it controls our heartbeat, our pupil dilation, our involuntary movements in our body, which we can't control. Now, this nervous system, this autonomic nervous system, has two branches, the sympathetic branch and the parasympathetic branch. The sympathetic branch is activated when you are in some kind of a threat. Now this is a very useful aspect too. So when there is threat, when let's say a truck is hurtling towards you, a dog is barking at you, you're having a fight with someone, there's a mugging on the road, you need to be fully aware and alert, and you need your sympathetic nervous system to be activated. You need that energy in your body. You need your hands and legs to be ready to run, to fight. You need your eyes to be really vigilant. You need your ears to be fully perceptive to sound. You need your blood to be pumped in your body, so you need your heart to be beating fast. And these are activities or situations that are activated by the sympathetic nervous system, and we call this fight or flight reaction. Now, alternatively, we have the parasympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system is activated when we are relaxed, when there is no threat, when there is ease, when we are sitting in our living rooms and we are doing nothing. We are in the parasympathetic mode. Okay, so this is a mode of rest and digest, heal and repair. When we are in the parasympathetic nervous system and when that is activated, our system is ready to repair itself, to heal, and all the tissues that got damaged or used up while we were in the sympathetic mode now have an opportunity to become, to kind of get repaired. Now this is simple. Sympathetic, parasympathetic. Problem occurs when there is no real threat, but we perceive threat. So we are sitting in our living rooms and there is no real threat right now, but we are thinking about a threatening situation. We are thinking about a work deadline tomorrow. We are thinking about a fight we had. We are thinking about our life. We are planning something. We are thinking, okay, I'm not achieving enough. I'm not living optimally. I have to live better. This is not good enough. Or we are watching the news, or we are checking social media, and the inputs we are receiving from there are in some way activating or threatening. Now there is a disharmony, there's a mismatch. our bodies and our brains are made perfectly to function given the situation. If there is threat, we react as though we are under threat. If there is peace and ease, we react as though we are under peace and ease. However, because of thinking, and because the thought belongs to a place in the future or the past and does not belong to the present, and often contains threatening qualities, because there is an inherent negativity bias in our thinking. A huge percentage of human thoughts is known, research has been done and it has shown to be of some kind of a negative origin. So now what happens is, even though the present is not having any threat, the threat has entered into our system through our thoughts. Now begins the problem. When the brain thinks we are under threat, it activates the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system gets activated and our heart starts to race. Our eyes become vigilant, awake, aware. Our ears are very perceptive. Our hands and feet are ready to fight and run. There's nothing to fight and nowhere to run, so we become restless. And in this state, is it possible to sleep? The answer is no. So if your sympathetic nervous system is activated before you are ready to sleep, or while you're going to sleep, because you're planning, thinking, and that's become a habit pattern now, you cannot fall asleep. Sleeping requires the brain to relax and understand that there is no real threat in the present. So, how do we make this shift? This knowledge is not going to create a shift. Often we are thinking about threatening situations in our mind, even though we are not in a threatening space, because we are just habituated to doing that. Our brain is conditioned, our minds are conditioned to keep thinking about the past, about the future, and to create worst case scenarios, to keep judging ourselves as inadequate, keep judging our lives as inadequate, situations as more threatening than they really are. We are conditioned. Here is where mindfulness comes in and is a big piece to kind of resolve the problem and make a shift. Now, what does mindfulness say? Mindfulness says, just be present. There's nothing to mindfulness but the quality of being present. Of course, there's also this sounding so simple. It's a very deep practice, because being present means being accepting of the present. It means not being judgmental towards the present. It means not being reactive towards the present. It means being compassionate towards yourself while you are in the present. So of course it's a bigger point, and that for another day, because I don't want to bring in too many things. But most importantly, when we are mindful, we are paying attention to the present moment and in an accepting way. So as you practice mindfulness, what you do is you bring your attention back into your life, into where it is right now, and you say, okay, I am here. I can feel this chair under me. I can see this room as it is. Okay, these are the sounds I can hear. In fact, even as I'm talking to you, I recognized that I need to keep my feet on the ground. They were slightly lifting. This is what mindfulness does. You bring attention to your body, it relaxes, it rests you, it grounds you. It makes you realize you are here. And that is mindfulness, paying attention to where you are. Now, when you start bringing this into your life on a daily basis, every day, several times a day, you remind yourself, I am eating. Let me pay attention to my food. I am bathing. Let me pay attention to this bathing, to this act of bathing, to the water, to the soap. I am walking. Let me pay attention to walking, to feeling my feet touching the ground, one step at a time. then what starts to happen is you help your brain recognize that this is the reality. The reality is not threatening. When you stop excessively planning, excessively worrying about the future, excessively letting your mind wander. So its habit is to wander. It will worry. It will go into the future. The only thing in our control is bringing it back. We cannot stop our minds from wandering. It's just a habit. But we can train our attention to be in the present, and we can do that by practicing getting our attention back into the present again and again and again. And as we do this repeatedly, regularly, consistently, a big change will start to happen. Our brain will learn to stay present. It will start to cooperate with us. And then we start staying in the parasympathetic mode when needed, and in the sympathetic mode when needed. When we are genuinely meeting a deadline, when we have to go pick up a child from the school and we are getting late, then we are in the sympathetic mode and we need to be. But then when the action is over, something is done, we are at home, we are walking, we are exercising, we are doing different things, our attention is there, and we can move into the parasympathetic nervous system. So this shift from sympathetic to parasympathetic repeatedly through mindfulness practice is what is going to resolve the problem of sleeping eventually. Now, you can start this practice. Don't do it just to sleep well. Make it a part of your life. Regularly, every day. You can start your practice with very, very simple things. You will find a 5-minute meditation link below where you can start your practice. A very short meditation practice. Just, you don't have to get overwhelmed. But sitting 5 minutes or 7 minutes with yourself, with your breath, just being present, training your brain to be present can be very helpful. So you will find a link to a lot of resources, free resources, courses, as well as a playlist to deal with emotional overwhelm when you are too emotional. All of it in the description. Start your practice. That's all I can say. Start today and stop looking for quick fixes. You can change the way you sleep. And if you don't find any of this really helping you over a period of time, then you might also want to check if you have an underlying medical condition and go meet the doctor. But I do believe that a lot of people actually just have dysregulated nervous systems, and their sleep can come back and get reset if the nervous systems are regulated. So I hope you go ahead and do this practice.